The CEO of Bricks Minifigs has essentially ruined his life, known now as someone that's not trustworthy, a bad business person, and honestly an internet meme. And in addition to this, Bricks Minifigs was able to get away with everything that they were doing throughout this entire case because Lego allowed it. Today we're diving into the latest happenings within this story, and it turns out that 90% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So please join me, subscribe. Now let's dive in.
There's a difference between a company having a bad year and a person becoming an actual joke. Eamon McNeff, the CEO of Bricks Minifigs, has more than crossed that line. He's not just facing a lawsuit, but his name is now shorthand online for corporate dishonesty. He has been turned into a costume and a punchline. He's a case study taught by people who've never even watched a Reckless Ben video. So here is why there's no coming back from this, and not only is Bricks Minifigs cooked forever, but Eamon McNeff's professional life and career may be done forever.
Let's be honest, people that don't even know Lego, that don't even know Bricks and Minifigs are seeing this story. This story is massive, and the poster child of this story is the CEO. And everyone's gonna know this face, and really, it's just no longer trustworthy.
First of all, he's literally a costume now. On national television, on news station, Reckless Ben walked into the interview wearing a suit plastered with McNeff's own face. So sit with that for a second. A sitting CEO's face is being worn as a mocking costume on national TV, and it's treated as comedy, not exactly controversy. So that's not just bad press for Bricks and Minifigs. That is what happens when a public figure becomes a meme instead of a businessman.
And this also says, it shows that really with people in content creation, specifically someone like Reckless Ben with a massive following that has some off the cuff type content, as a company, as a business, you need to be very careful on how you handle that situation, because content creators, YouTubers, Instagram, TikTokers, they are on no guide rails. I mean, obviously you have terms of service with YouTube and with the platforms that they're on, but the guide rails are very loose. There's no overlying structure or organization that's running them, and they can do or say whatever they want. So as a company, you need to be careful and tread lightly.
But not only is his face being mocked, his very company is being mocked, with Reckless Ben's version of the company called We Steal From Old People. Of course, in direct response to how McNeff handled Brian Mansell's stolen collection, the mock company was registered in Reckless Ben's video, We Steal From Old People, with the tagline, "If you're old, we'll definitely steal from you." And this isn't just a joke in one of Ben's videos. It got picked up by multiple other channels who have discussed it, and Ben advertised the merchandise involved with the store, and it is brought up in multiple interviews and podcasts that Ben has done. No doubt tens of millions of people have seen this fake company. If you Google Eamon McNeff today, you're one click away from a satirical company that was built specifically to humiliate him. Not only that, but on police body cam footage, even with these cops that many people have called corrupt, they admitted that what Eamon McNeff was accusing Ben of had no real merit. The Provo officer saying that we agree there really was no extortion code that would fit your situation. That officer, of course, then helps him, hunt down Ben and a charge that'll stick. But before that, she literally admits, yeah, Eamon, whatever you were claiming before has zero credibility and won't hold up at all.
Now, let's remember, she didn't just find something that would stick. She kind of really manipulated the law to find something, and some people even say to create something that would stick so that they could charge Reckless Ben.
So not only are all these people that would be critiquing him otherwise questioning his credibility, cops that were literally colluding with him come up with charges also questions his credibility.
Yeah.
So anyone who searches him up now will find a police officer essentially admitting that his original accusation didn't hold up. Furthermore, a major tech CEO publicly told him to get lost. When Bricks Minifigs formally asked Patreon to remove Ben's page, Patreon's own CEO, Jack Conte, responded not privately, but with a public video siding with Ben that effectively told Bricks Minifigs to sue if they had a problem. So that is a CEO of a major tech company that is much more popular than Bricks Minifigs, mind you, and definitely helped scale and skyrocket the story even more when Patreon responded. All the backlash Bricks Minifigs and Amon McNeff got is one thing, but when another CEO is making content about how little they respect your complaint, that is industry-wide humiliation. But not only are people connected to the LEGO community and people who have things to gain criticizing him and questioning Amon McNeff, but business and gaming commentary sites with zero connection to this fan base reached brutal conclusions entirely on their own. For example, Culture of Gaming said, quote, a textbook failure of leadership. Trinket Kingdom flatly said, dogwater leadership, unethical, cowardly, and morally bankrupt when describing Bricks and Minifigs, and Amon McNeff particularly.
It doesn't take a business enthusiast, an entrepreneur, a Lego enthusiast, a Bricks and Minifigs fan to understand and to easily see that what's going on here is corrupt and is just poor company management.
So these are outside observers who looked at his conduct and independently landed on the word corrupt. Yes. Not to mention, his own employees don't respect him either. A majority of Bricks Minifigs' own franchise owners, the people running his stores every single day, signed a petition demanding he step down. And that petition reached the Bricks Minifigs board, nothing happened, but when the people who work for you stop trusting you, that's not outrage from strangers, that is a verdict from the inside, and it really goes to show just how questionable of a CEO you really are. And there is no coming back from this. The costume, the fake company, the body cam clip, the Patreon video, the independent corrupt verdicts, and the internal revolt is permanently indexed and searchable and archived on the internet. And Wikipedia even now has 2 dedicated pages preserving all of it.
Wow.
And one outlet put it pretty well when they said, quote, years from now, someone searching Bricks Minifigs may find this story. They may see Amon McNeff's name attached to it. So this isn't just a scandal that fades in a news cycle like Bricks Minifigs wants to believe.
This is also something that if someone was considering opening up some type of a Lego shop, there is no way in anyone's right mind that does any research of their own would sign on to this franchise. I wouldn't be surprised if the franchise fizzled out over the next year or so because its name is so tainted. I mean, when you think about all of the content that's gone out about this on Patreon, on YouTube, on all other platforms, on traditional news, there have been hundreds of millions of views for McNabb, for Bricks and Minifigs, all negative. So I honestly don't know how this franchise can survive. And I actually do feel bad for many of the franchise owners that are already invested, that are running good business, that are now stuck with this franchise. What I would probably recommend they do is cancel their franchise, break out of the franchise, and take the Bricks and Minifigs name, separate from it, and keep their store and just rename it as a whatever mom and pop name. It would be better off for them doing it that way. But you probably are also curious about how Lego did not hold up their end of the deal, allowing Bricks and Minifigs to get away what they did. We're going to get into that in just a minute.
It's now the permanent first impression of his name and his brand forever. And it's one thing to have your company fail. It's another thing to have your face, your name, your identity, your career, and your reputation completely tied to it. I mean, if you search Bricks and Minifigs on YouTube right now, I'd say 85% of the thumbnails on those YouTube videos that have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views each, all exhibit Amon McNeff's face. I mean, look at the thumbnails on my channel. I've used Amon McNeff in most of the thumbnails. Look at any other channel covering this. It's all Amon's face. It's all him being clowned on, called corrupt, called incompetent, by the way, by his own father. I mean, this runs really deep. And as far as professional careers go, I think his professional life is ruined. His career is ruined. Who is going to want to work with a man with a reputation this bad, with credibility this low, who has been clowned on by tens of millions of people online? So let's think about all the different people that have called out Ammon McNeff. You have former franchise owners, you have current franchise owners, you have Bricks Minifigs employees, you have independent investigators and journalists that have nothing to do with Lego before this, but because of this story, they have objectively looked at this and came to the verdict that Ammon is at the very least very, very questionable. You have Ammon's own father saying that he failed to run his own Bricks and Minifigs location years ago, and he's basically not good with business. Not to mention the possible police corruption, stealing a $200,000 collection from an elderly man, and every other action that you can look at that points towards Ammon McNeff in this case that just absolutely shreds his reputation. There's just no going back for Ammon McNeff. But
so really, where does he go from here? He's essentially not going to be able to run his own company. McNeff is going to probably have a very struggled time trying to get work anywhere else, and his face isn't going to be able to go do anything because his face has been tainted. Now, let's dive into exactly how Lego allowed this to happen and really just kind of let Bricks and Minifigs run their own show.
Ed Mansell, an 83-year-old man, spent 20 years building a $200,000 Lego Star Wars collection for his grandkids. And his son, Brian Mansell, personally emailed Lego, the actual company behind all these products, begging them to step in and help with the situation. And that was 5 months ago, and Lego has said nothing since about this situation. That's right, court records reveal Brian Mansell went straight to Lego's own customer service, not just Bricks and Minifigs. His actual words were, quote, "I am writing to you with great concern over what has transpired at a Lego-sponsored Bricks and Minifigs store." And he laid out everything. His father, the 20 years of collecting, 780 sets, and 1,200 minifigures that were all meant to help pay for his grandkids' college.
My question, though, is it Lego's responsibility to step in this situation? Because remember, Bricks and Minifigs is a separate company. It's a branch off of Lego, just featuring Lego products. So is it actually Lego's responsibility to step in at this point? And even if it wasn't their responsibility, is it a moral responsibility, being that it features their product, that they should have done something?
And then he asked directly, how can Lego continue to support and do business with a company that could steal from an 83-year-old man? He asked that in the email to Lego customer service. And it's unclear if he even got a customer support response, but it's obvious that nothing really came of it because that was 5 months ago, before all this Reckless Ben content came to light and the drama actually started publicly. And a big topic of discussion throughout this whole ordeal has been, what responsibility does Lego have in this situation and what should they be doing? Well, the relationship I don't always see people talking about is Bricks and Minifigs is an official authorized Lego reseller. That's what it's called. Authorized Lego reseller. A real active commercial agreement to sell genuine Lego products. And when asked directly if Bricks and Minifigs still gets stock shipped from Lego, they refuse to answer. And whatever the exact deal is going on behind closed doors between Bricks and Minifigs and Lego and how Bricks and Minifigs is purchasing retail sets, Lego's name and trust are attached to every single Bricks and Minifigs store. And in that 5 months of silence from Lego, there has been a lot of things happening with the situation. It has obviously escalated quite a bit, with national news coverage, a federal lawsuit, millions and millions of views, and a GoFundMe that has raised, I think, $500,000, $600,000 the last time I checked, and still, the Lego group has never once commented publicly. The closest thing we've gotten are some robotic customer service responses to concerned people reaching out to Lego customer service, and it's been the same corporate reply every single time. That really doesn't reveal Lego's stance on the matter. Still, Lego has not come out publicly to release a statement or do anything else to get themselves involved with the situation. And although LEGO isn't directly responsible for any of the wrongdoing at Bricks and Minifigs, it's kind of frustrating, and a lot of people are upset about this because LEGO's whole brand is built on trust and childhood memories. And Brian trusted that name specifically because it probably made him feel safe knowing that they are an authorized LEGO reseller. And LEGO didn't have to do anything crazy like compensating Brian Mansell personally or anything like that. They could have at least put out a statement disavowing what Bricks and Minifigs did and maybe disassociating with them publicly. But LEGO hasn't done anything. There's been total silence throughout this whole situation.
So what are your thoughts there? Lego is sold in many different places, Walmart, Target, or if you're bougie, Target. If one of those stores is doing something shady with Lego product, is it Lego's job or moral duty to step in and do something about that? Is Bricks and Minifigs a very similar situation? What do you think they should do? I don't think they have any legal requirement to do anything, but if it were my parent company or organization and my products were being used for scandals, I'd probably want to say something. Now, the whole story has been documented across approximately 20 videos that I have shared with you in this playlist. I beg you, go check them all out because the story runs deep. I'll see you guys over there.